Saxon Course 2, Lesson 112 is Applications of the Pythagorean Theorem. So it says the number 5, 12, and 13 are Pythagorean triplet because 5 squared plus 12 squared equals 13 squared. What are the next three multiples of the Pythagorean triplet? To find the next multiples of 5, 12, and 13, we're going to multiply these numbers by 2, by 3, and then by 4. So if I multiply each of these numbers by 2, I would get 10, 24, and 26. Okay, I would then multiply it by 3, and I would get 15, 36, 39, and then by 4 would be 20, 48, 52 are the next three multiples. Okay, in this one, a roof is being built over a 24-foot wide room. The slope of the roof is 4 inches, 12. Calculate the length of the rafters needed for the roof. Include 2 feet for the rafter tail. So, we consider the length of the rafter to be the hypotenuse of a right triangle. The width of the room is 24 feet, but a rafter spans only about half the width of the room. So the base of the right triangle is going to be 12 feet. The slope of the roof is 4 inches, 12, which means that for every 12 horizontal units, the roof raises 4 feet. So, since the base of my triangle is 12, that means the height is going to be 4 feet. And that's shown in this picture here. Okay? So we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem to calculate the hypotenuse. So remember, the Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Well, a, we're going to have that be my height, which is 4. So 4 feet squared, plus my base, which is 12 feet squared, will equal the length of the rafter here, the hypotenuse, c squared. So that'll be 16 feet squared plus 144 feet squared will equal c squared. So 160 feet squared equals c squared. Okay, going to erase quick, make more room. 160 feet squared equals c squared. So I'm going to take the square root of each of these numbers. And the square root of 160 is about equal to 12.65 feet. Okay, so the c equals this amount. Okay, and now what we're going to do is take that amount and add the 2 feet of the rafter tail. So we get 14.65 feet. Now, we might want to convert the 0.65 into inches. And to do that, we would take the 0.65 feet and multiply it by a unit converter, which would be 12 inches over 1 foot. Okay, feet would cancel, so to get 0.65 times 12 inches, which would be 7.8 inches. We would round this up to 8 inches. So the length of each rafter is about 14 feet and 8 inches long. Okay, this one. Serena went to a level field to fly a kite. She let out all 200 feet of string and tied it to a stake. Then she walked out on the field until she was directly under the kite, 150 feet from the stake. About how high up was the kite? I'd first start by drawing this picture. So, we have, at the top, we have our kite. Okay, and I don't know what the height is, but I know that the length of the string has to be 200 feet. Okay, and she's going to walk 50 feet from the stake. She's over here. Oh, sorry, she's over here because the stake is here, tied to the kite. Okay, so we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem to figure out what the height of that stake is. So that's a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Well, I don't know what a squared is, because that's going to be this side. B squared is my base, so that's going to be a squared plus 150 squared, or feet squared, equals 200 feet squared, because the hypotenuse is always c. So a squared equals 22,500 feet squared. Oh, sorry, a squared plus 2,250 feet squared equals 40,000 feet squared. Okay. So if I subtract that across, my a squared is going to equal 17,500 feet squared. I'd take the square root of both those numbers, and a would be about equal to 132 feet if I rounded it up. Okay. So the kite is about 132 feet up in the air. Okay, and that's it for this lesson.